Hello and welcome back to the Dan Cave and welcome to July 2022 on the bench review. Is it slightly earlier than last month? No, we're almost into the middle of the month again by the time we get to this. So this is the July episode issue, and as is usual, we're going to have a look back at basically what's happened in June. So what's been finished, what's been bought, what's in progress, and some thoughts on future plans. So it's kind of the usual bench update format. No surprises, which is how I like it. So there we go. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Click that bell notification. But definitely please subscribe. If you like the video, please drop a like as well. If you're a returning viewer, please remember to like as well. And of course, for everyone, please feel free to comment in the comments field down below. All comments are gratefully received. So there we go. Another month has rolled on by. June again was a bit of a challenging month, but there's been some good successes in June. Some nice little bits of work finished. Probably not as much bought. Just having a quick look. Yeah, probably not as much bought. A couple of kits I referred to last month that we need to have a quick look at in this particular bench update. And then future plans. Yeah, so future plans are not varying too much. Some of the future plans are now present plans for work in progress, so we'll have a look at that when we get to the in progress bit. So kind of moving along nicely. I suppose the interesting... So I had some thoughts last month about why I didn't seem to build as much stuff this year as I did last year. To one of the aspects that kind of drove that, kind of it's taken away a little bit of hobby time for modelling is one of my other... Is it a hobby? I suppose it is a hobby. It's almost in a band as well, so been pretty busy with the band. We've been trying to get rehearsals done because we finally managed to go and record some songs. So that recording work, some of that's been done. So that's taken quite a chunk of time away. Because just recording this, you guys are all modelers. You know how that clock winds on really really quickly when you're busy in the zone modeling, and the same is said. The same can be said for music. So last weekend, I spent, we the band spent 9-10 a.m. all the way through to 7 p.m. Managed to record 4 songs, and that's not even complete. We still need to go back for another couple of sessions to do some of the additional work on that, some more vocal work and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's all kind of taken away that hobby time. So or at least taken away modelling hobby time, because technically being in a band is a hobby as well, because I do have another full-time job as well. So all of those things kind of contribute to probably less productivity, but you know what, so be it. Kind of reflecting upon what's been done this year, it's definitely a case of some of the things I've done have been probably a little bit more complex than kind of standard kit or some of the kits I did last year. Certainly at least a couple of bikes, they're always a little bit longer. An F1 car, which is finished. F1 car, it's a little bit longer than some other builds. Yeah, kind of stuff like that does seem to take up a little bit more time. The F15 was quite a complex build for a 72nd scale kit. There's quite a lot of parts in that. So it's almost like the part count dictates how long it's going to take. So plus you add that in with the other stuff I've been doing, of course I'm going to build less. So be it. That's just part and parcel of it. As long as when I do get time, I'm making productive use of it and I enjoy it, then I am happy. So there we go. That's me waffling on about stuff that's got some which has got nothing to do with modelling. So let's head on over to the bench and start off with what's been finished for June of 2022. So I'll come back at the end. I'll have a few final thoughts. Maybe. who knows. Anyway, without further ado, head on over and I'll see you at the end. So first up is what's been finished. Yes. So first up that's been finished is the Tamiya Williams FW13B, 1/20th scale. So this was my first F1 car for as far back as I can remember, a long time. Built a couple in my youth and not really built any since. So really enjoyed this. Obviously I went through quite a bit of this last month. We're getting towards the end, but now it is completed. I have to say I'm pretty pleased with it. It's it's an old kit. The original Tamiya decals were completely shot. That they were just a no-go area. The replacements I got, which came from Indicals, they looked okay on the sheet, but actually weren't great. So where they really kind of suffered is like anywhere around here, around the leading edges of the intakes, anywhere where you need to conform to an edge. Basically it's like the ink cracked and kind of came away from the sheet. So I think had I probably clear coated that decal sheet, it may have gone better, but ultimately I had to go back and do some touch up work, which is fine. They went down all right. So behaviour wise the decals were good, just the quality of them wasn't brilliant. But they did go on. Obviously I spoke about the 2K last time as well. So it was all kind of into the final assembly was where it was headed last time. So as you can see, it's all been put together. Made some additions to the side pods, addition of some carbon fibre decaling, a little bit of harness work as well, just to add a little bit of visual interest. Seatbelt harness I spoke about last month, but yeah, it all went together well actually. I'm really pleased with the final result. So that has been a really enjoyable build, and definitely glad now that I've gone and bought a few more Formula 1 kits. So let me just manipulate this back on. So the engine cover itself doesn't sit brilliantly. But that's okay, because I've kind of designed it to come off reasonably easily. There is a couple of plastic tabs on each side at the back. I've trimmed them down to make sure it's easy enough to remove the engine cover. And so very, very pleased with the result on that. Rear wing did give me a few issues. It has been knocked off a couple of times and been repaired a couple of times as well. So things like lessons for the next Formula 1 kit. I think as Simon said on the live show recently, actually where the elements actually pin, it's kind of worthwhile looking at slightly more robust solutions. So I'd probably look at some brass rod or something to help pin them a little better. Would make them a bit stronger, a bit easier to manipulate and handle. But aside from that, really pleased with how it went together. Rear wing been done in, I think it's Tamiya carbon fibre, but I did like the front wing in, I think it's a hobby design carbon fibre, which gives it much more of a different weave look, because there's almost no visible weave on the front on the pictures. But I kind of went with a little bit of interpretive license and kind of went for a very fine weave pattern, which actually kind of gives it a nice kind of look. But yeah, overall very, very pleased with that. So that was kit number 1, completed last month. Kit number 2, a bit more of a reach, which was also in progress last month and is now completed, is this, which is the Tamiya 12th scale Suzuki RG250 Gamma. So, really old kit from Tamiya. It's been reboxed a couple of times. There's one of the more recent boxings, but yeah, really enjoyable. Little build, very simple kit. So, kind of generally, I think I spoke about the bodywork last time out. So what I did was, in, I suppose, my mind's eye, I always remember the kind of vinyl coloured seats, always a slightly different colour to the paintwork. So I kind of went with the darker blue, almost completely dark blue for bodywork, and then just went with a lighter shade of blue for the seat, which gives it that little bit of contrast, slightly different from the norm. But aside from that, it's all fairly stock and from the box, but it went together absolutely perfectly. No complaints with the kit, no issues. A little bit of Molotow chrome used for the mirrors. I also ended up using Molotow chrome on the forks as well. But all in all, it's quite an enjoyable kit to build. When I was building, I was thinking, would I get another one? I think I would. I'd like, maybe to do a custom bike. I was thinking I could do maybe a, I don't know, something like a stripped down kind of bobber style, maybe. Yeah, which could be interesting. To make something like this into that, kind of like a weird 250 custom job. But overall, really pleased with how this came out, and this was part of the ISM bike build as well, which is still ongoing, but this will be my entry for that. But yeah, nice little kit. So that is the completed section. So next up is the usual what's been bought. So not a huge amount bought recently or last month, but I was in America with work. Managed to pick up a couple of AMT kits. So this one is a 55 Chevy with a Coca-Cola scheme for it. So this also comes with, which is really nice looking. You get a vending machine, which I think is quite cool. So it's a die-cast vending machine. So fairly standard AMT boxing. Bunch of parts, lots of chrome. Probably expect lots of difficulties. You get a couple of tyre options as well. Yeah, 2 tyre options. I mean, there's not a huge amount of parts in here. It's the decal sheet. Yeah, so you get the Coca-Cola decals in there, as expected. But yeah, fairly simple body. Obviously, it's a pickup truck, so it'll be the flatbed, main front shell, and yeah, there'll be an engine in there somewhere as well. So yes, that should be a nice build at some, well, if I do it properly, it should be a nice looking build when it's done. I quite like the box scheme, that's quite nice, and the white and red. Probably be nice to go for a custom, maybe a kind of off-white, vintage white. You can see in the background you've got the vending machine done in the red and white. But then that's quite interesting as well, that pure red scheme there. And a variation on the vending machine as well. So this is produced by Round 2 Models, and is it 24th or is it 25th? 25th scale. So yeah, as the box suggests, you get some printed tyres. You've got either the red trim or the white trim. There is an engine in there, flip down tailgate, bench seat. Yeah, I quite like the look of that. It's a nice little addition. And then the other one, which was another Coca-Cola truck, which is a 1940 Ford. I have to say this one really does look quite good to me. So, and as you can see, I've not actually opened up the box previously. So in yellow and black on the front, looks quite nice. In red on the side, and this one apparently comes with a colourful Coca-Cola display base. So we've got chrome parts, white wall tyres, probably some dodgy AMT clear parts. It actually looks like quite a clean set of bodywork. Got some metal rods for, I guess, for axles. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how this base goes together. Let's just have a quick look at it. Alright, so there's literally a... It's a bit like that. Obviously got your Coca-Cola branding as well, and then this is the back end just to give it some rigidity. So I'm guessing this is a round 2 release as well. Yeah, that chrome doesn't look great. Can always be replaced by bleaching it. But yeah, as both of them were in the hobby shop I visited, I thought I'll pick up both of them. So again, we got, yes, that is round 2 models. Licensed by Ford. Yeah, multiple hub, wheel and tyre options. 3 engine options, including supercharged V8, chrome exhaust pipes, chrome custom bumpers. Yeah, I think quite looking forward to that. Looks nice in red as well, but I do quite like the box scheme on this. Although I've seen someone do kind of like a grey and black scheme, which does, was it grey and black or grey and red? It's only a mix of grey, and the grey does kind of work with the black and red, so that may be an option as well when I go to have a look. Also might be tempting to do maybe kind of a little bit of a custom kind of style on it, maybe get rid of the bumpers, lower it, do something a little bit different, give it a little bit of a nod to a hot rod look, but kind of keep that authentic kind of delivery van look. But yeah, so that is that's all that's been bought. Now there are a few kits which have been bought more recently, but they'll be covered next month. So what's next? In progress. Yep, in progress. Let's have a look at some in progress stuff. So first up, in progress, grab this box, is the Hasegawa Subaru Legacy, which I have spoken about previously. So that's now in construction. So interior tub, chassis, roll cage, all prepped and painted in their base colour. But the main bulk of work that's been done so far has been on the bodywork. So bodywork has been primed in UMP grey, base coat of zero paints, Monte Carlo blue. So this is the blue I went with in the end, which I think I spoke about last month as well. So that is the blue I went with. Looked quite right. Looked good enough compared to any pictures I saw. Museum collection provided the decals. And yeah, it's been clear coated in Pro Range 2K, which, kind of looking at the finish, needs a little bit of work just to improve it. There's a little bit of an orange peel on it, just enough of a kind of surface degradation that it needs a bit of work just to clean it up. But yeah, so it's been left to cure. That's been curing for 6 days now. But I'll just leave it longer because the next step on this, because this is going to be a video build. So basically part 1 is kind of complete, so all the footage is done. The video won't be released yet because I want to make some progress on the bike first. And then I'll try and get all the parts edited and kind of release them kind of 1 week after another. That's the plan. You never know, because I mean the bodywork is actually, they're relatively easy videos to edit, so I might come out at a different time, who knows. But that's the first in progress. So the next in progress is where I've finally gotten back to working on the Suzuki. So if you follow the channel, you will have seen that part 2 covered the frame and engine, so that's all nicely assembled. I've actually gone back and added some of the carbon fibre decals as well, and then the next part will at least cover the swing arm and wheels and rear shock as well. So yeah, as you can see, that's made a nice little bit of progress as well. I think this will be quite a short video because it's just going to probably cover this bit, although it does cover the addition of the carbon fibre decals for a hugger and then the decals on the wheels as well. So front wheel is done as well, so that's in preparation for what will be the next part, which will probably be the forks and hand controls, and then the final part will be probably polish, flat polish, and all the little smaller bits that need to go around the kit, and then quite a few decals. So I think that's the plan moving forward, but as you can see, there's quite a bit coming together now. Excuse me. As you can see, we're at the point where we can even start kind of mocking up how it's probably going to look. These parts go here. I think they do. There we go, a bit like that. Then we can start to see how it takes shape. So I'll go on like that. So it is nicely coming together. Yeah, generally pretty pleased. I mean, that's gonna look pretty sweet when it's done. Yeah, I've kind of got the enthusiasm back for this now, which kind of disappeared briefly, just mainly because I was busy with some other builds, and yeah, I hadn't got the video editing done, so I always kind of feel like if I haven't got the video editing done, I don't want to make progress because I don't want to get too far behind on the videos. But we're pretty much up to date. I mean, all the footage for this is done. I just need to sit down and edit, intro, outro, do an overdub, and yeah, that'll be part 4. I think will be coming out soon. So that is all the in progress. So I have started nothing else, which is very commendable of me, I will say. It's always very tempting to start stuff. So I can't remember if I mentioned last month, I have got another Revell kit to build. That's going to be a magazine build. Then after that, I haven't quite decided. Yeah, Not really sure what I'm going to do next. The magazine build, obviously they take up a little bit more time, so a little bit of patience on maybe some of the other builds. However, one future plan which I can talk about, coming up the end of July, will be the resin group build over on ISM, and my choice of resin kit is going to be this, which I've had for years. So it's a Magnum Models, the Havilland Dove. Yep. So this is basically a complete resin white metal kit. A little bit of vac form as well for the canopy. Yeah, basically, I don't know, box of nightmares maybe. It's not a modern kind of resin. This is quite an old, pretty warped resin as well, so that this is going to need quite a bit of work to get it done. But, you know, it's an aircraft that for personal reasons I want to build. Got some memories of the Havilland Doves. You can see the white metal is, yeah, pretty shocking and needs quite a bit of work to clean it up. But yeah, it's got some personal connections to the Havilland Dove. So it's going to be done in an Irish Air Core silver and Dayglow with Dayglow orange panels. So that's the plan. So that's going to start at the end of July. I'm not going to do it as a video build, but I will kind of probably post some updates. I might even do some kind of mini video updates just to kind of show the progress as well. But yeah, so that is going to be one of the future plans. So there we have it. I'm going to send you back to me for the final thoughts. Yeah, let's go back to me. So there we go. That's July 2022 on the bench. All about predominantly about looking back at June, a little bit looking at what's going on now, and the stuff that's hopefully going to come up over the next few months. So yeah, I have to say I'm really pleased with the stuff that was finished. I think the F1 car I enjoyed more than I probably thought I would. It's been a long time since I built any F1 cars. I wouldn't say I was a Williams fan or anything, and that's what drew me to it. It was available at a price I was comfortable with, and I thought, yeah, a little bit of Formula One. It's quite, you know, relatively iconic scheme. FW13, maybe not an iconic F1 car, but certainly that scheme, that kind of Renault yellow, blue, and white. Yeah, it's quite iconic of Williams from kind of late 80s, early 90s. So, you know, went in for it, built it, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I did enjoy doing it. A little bit more time consuming than some other kits, so certainly more time consuming than a curbside 24th scale kit. So yeah, and then the Suzuki bike as well, another Suzuki built. Not the MotoGP one, sadly, but the road bike. I did actually quite enjoy that. For a really old kit, it goes together pretty well. There's very little wrong with it. It's a little bit simple on detail, but if you kind of like retro superbike looking bikes, admittedly it's a 250, but just that kind of retro sports bike, it's an enjoyable little kit. I have to say I did quite enjoy building it and finishing it. So yeah, so that's the kind of, that's pretty much it. Possibly just dragging this out for the sake of dragging it out at this stage. I'm sure I've said everything already. Yeah, I think we pretty much have. I mean, on the in progress side, at the moment is mainly 2 video builds. So again, they're a little bit probably slower than they could be. They have a magazine build coming up, which that's not going to be a video build. So hopefully that will actually, again, but that'll be a little bit slow because you tend to take your time because it's a little bit of writing associated with every bit. You're trying to do things quite professionally. Some hope of that. So yeah, and then yeah, for the kind of future thoughts, as I kind of said in the video, I haven't really decided, and it was on the most recent Friday Night Live show. I think it was Andy Callis said it. That for him, having a large stash of kits, it just becomes his personal hobby store. So perhaps in some ways that's how I'm probably going to treat my stash going forward, rather than kind of plan things in advance. Just kind of think of it from a point of view, if I finish a kit or I want to start a new kit, maybe view it that way. Just kind of look through the stash, which is kind of up here. Just look through and kind of pick out the one that I fancy building, because it's my own personal kind of hobby shop. I just don't have to pay for anything again. So I like that thinking. I think that maybe is kind of inspiring me to maybe try and push myself to kind of start a few more kits, which sometimes that tends to get things flowing a lot more, and the productivity comes out. So I'm going to bear that in mind over the next few weeks if I decide to start something. So there we go. I've waffled on for more than long enough than for what your ears can probably take. So I'm going to stop talking now and shut up and move on. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Please give a like and feel free to leave a comment if you wish. If you're a regular here, if you're back again, once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and don't forget to like the video. Coming out next in terms of videos will probably be another part for the Suzuki. I think the video footage is all there, just need to edit it. Probably be a short part, but we'll build them up into plenty of parts, and then there'll be kind of a full, reasonably detailed video build series of that bike. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for taking your time to sit here and listen to me waffle on and on and on. Thank you all, and I'll see you very, very soon. So bye bye for now.